Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we are going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Mike Barnes killed Daniel during the events of the Karate Kid 3? So in this timeline, Terry Silver would still hire Mike Barnes to intimidate Daniel, and Mike Barnes would want to challenge Daniel to fight in the All Valley, but Daniel wouldn't want to fight. Daniel would still befriend Jessica in this timeline. Daniel and Mr. Miyagi would still open up Miyagi's little trees. Mike Barnes would want to ruin Daniel's life, and much like in the original timeline, he would steal the bonsais from Mr. Miyagi's house. Daniel would be mad, and he would remember that Mr. Miyagi had planted a bonsai on the edge of a cliff, and he would ask Jessica for her help. So they would both go try to retrieve the bonsai from the cliff. Mike Barnes would show up, and they would grab onto the ropes Daniel and Jessica were attached to, and Mike would help them get back up, and while they were near the top, Mike would continue pressuring Daniel to sign up for the tournament. Daniel would refuse, so they would loosen the ropes to try to scare Daniel, and while loosening up the ropes, Mike would accidentally let go of Daniel's rope, and Daniel would follow his death. Jessica wouldn't believe what they had just done. Mike, Snake, and Dennis would be shocked, and they would decide to let go of all the ropes and escape. So Jessica would also follow her death. Mike Barnes would be panicking. He wouldn't know what to do. And Snake and Dennis would go see Terry. They would tell him what Mike had done. Terry would be mad that his plan had fallen apart, so he would call Mike to see him. Mike would apologize to Terry, and he would say that the whole thing had gone too far. Terry would tell Mike that their deal was over, so Terry Silver would have Mike Barnes kicked out of his house. Mike would be filled with regret, so Mike Barnes would run away. Days would pass, and Mr. Miyagi would start to wonder where Daniel had gone. He would report Daniel as a missing person, and a few days later, Daniel and Jessica's body would wash up on the beach, and the police would identify them as Daniel and Jessica. Mr. Miyagi would be heartbroken, and he would feel responsible for his death. Mr. Miyagi would call Daniel's mom, and she would be heartbroken. Mr. Miyagi would die of a broken heart, and Kreese would come back from Tahiti. Terry Silver would inform him of what happened to Daniel and Mr. Miyagi. Terry Silver would celebrate that they were out of the way, that they could finally reopen up Cobra Kai and take back the valley. But Kreese would feel regret. He would tell Terry that he never wanted anything to happen. So Kreese and Terry wouldn't reopen Cobra Kai, and the next 30 years would be pretty uneventful. Johnny would be living his life, and it would be very similar to the original timeline, and he would still be fired from his job. Johnny would still save Miguel, and Johnny would still reopen up Cobra Kai in this timeline, and much of season 1 would still happen, only in this timeline Daniel wouldn't be involved, and Cobra Kai would grow, and Johnny would train his students for the All Valley, and the night of the All Valley, Cobra Kai would win. Miguel would be the All Valley champion. Kreese wouldn't come back in this timeline, so Johnny would continue training his students in the ways of Cobra Kai, and Cobra Kai would be one of the biggest dojos in the valley. And that is where I'm going to end this What If. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Mike Barnes killed Daniel during the events of the Karate Kid 3? Let me know in the comments below. All members have access to emojis that can be used in comments and live streams. This isn't mandatory. This is only something extra if you want to support the channel even more. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys next time.